Welcome everyone to our show, Two Women Rising Out of the Chrysalis, where we share experiences so that you can get inspired, especially if you're going through something in your life right now. Hopefully our stories can help you have a breakthrough or just give you some inspiration. I'm Marisa.
And I'm Rita. Nice to see all of you here. Please enjoy our video and God bless all.
Now today we're going to talk about fears, right? We all have fears out of, at some point. And I wanted to share my story about, I'm not a very good swimmer and I love the beach, but I'm afraid to swim in the ocean. You're going to teach me how to swim?
Guess what? I'm afraid of the ocean too.
But I love the beach. I love going to the beach. I'm just have this fear about swimming in the ocean. I'm okay being in the pool. Again, I'm not a very good swimmer, and maybe I should learn how to swim. Maybe that will conquer that fear. I haven't tackled this yet. But here's the reason why. So when I was very little, this is, I don't remember how old I was. Maybe I was 3 or 4. I was at the beach with my family, so my parents and my brother. And because I love the water so much, me and my brother kept running into the water, into the ocean. Now, the oceans where I live back then are very rough. So they're very strong waves and they're very dangerous, especially if you're a small child. So my mother got scared because we kept running to the water. And, at that time, she thought it was a great idea to grab our heads and basically try to drown us in the water. So she literally put our heads under the water trying to drown us. What she was trying to do, because in her head, she was thinking, well, if I scare them, then they won't come running to the water, because I guess she got scared that we kept running to the water, but not realizing what she did was create a really big fear. Now, my brother doesn't have the fear of swimming. He loves swimming, but he was much older than I was. And then I created that fear. And still today, I have this fear of swimming in the ocean. Like, I'll go and soak my feet, but I will not swim in the ocean. And don't ask me to, jump off a boat and go swimming in the ocean. I will not do it.
Wow.
So thank you, Mom. But we all have these fears, right? We all, and they're all usually created when we're little.
True. So I have something similar, but this is my grandmother, and it's not the ocean or whatever river. It's in a bathtub. So she tried to wash my hair, right? And she would say, "Did you take a deep breath?" I said, "No." "Why?" And she said, "Take deep breath." I'm like, "Oh, me, okay, trust to her. She's the one who is I have to follow." So she just grabbed my head and put inside the water. I'm like, start to fighting. I'm not, because I not understand what she tried to do. First of all, nobody teach me how I need to hold your breath underneath the water.
Exactly.
So I try to push I'm lucky that it's the bottom, and then I try to push this out, right, myself. So when I come out of there, I just say to her, "I hate you. I hate you. I tell my dad he will never bring me back here. I will never come back here." So I was, and I soon I see my father. I'm like, open my blue eyes, and I'm like, "Oh, Dad, she tried to kill me." And my father like, "What?" And I said, "Yes." I was like 7 or 8 years old maybe. But again, I never have an ocean in my town or a river or whatever. Actually, I lie. We do have, but it's not really a river. It's like
a lake.
No, it's like smaller, but there is really rough water too. It's like I don't know how you call this in English. I need to look up. If you not mind, I can tell. 1 second.
Is it like the arm of the ocean?
No, no,
Usually,
no,
no?
nothing like that. No, now in our town, we just have like very not so deep swimming pools,
Mm-hmm.
very dirty water. Um, and that place, it's also very dirty water because they watering the, um, like,
Do they wash their clothes there too?
now they watering the vegetables, the
Oh, okay.
flowers from there, and that's all like from the rainbow there. 1 second, I will tell you.
So yeah, we all have these fears that we acquire, but they're usually we can get rid of these fears. There was another fear that I acquired, and I acquired this fear more a little bit later, as soon as I became or closer to a teenager, which was the fear of being around a lot of people. So,
Oh, that's another thing.
yeah, I was terrified. If there was more than 3 people in a group or like a big party, I would be terrified. I'd be like frozen, be afraid to move. I just couldn't be around so many people. And that was, yeah.
Why this happens to you?
Well, due to some past trauma, and I'm still figuring out the cause of the fear, but I believe I developed it because as a little girl, the trauma that I experienced gave me the belief that adults were dangerous, right?
May I ask
So
what is it? Or if this is a secret, don't say it. I'm okay
I
with it.
think that'll be a story for a different time. So we'll have a story on it because then we're gonna go off tangent.
Okay.
So the fear of being around a lot of people. So if I would go to a party, I would be so nervous. I would stay in a corner, afraid to engage. And really that actually, I had that fear up until adulthood. And it wasn't until I had my first child that I started breaking out that fear. She kind of forced me because then she was interacting with people and I forced myself that, hey, if I want my child to grow up normal, I have to get rid of this fear of being around a lot of people because I have to socialize
So how
more.
old are you when you was push yourself to actually do socialize?
Probably my early 30s. Yeah, took me that
That's
long.
wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
It's a
So
long
how you
time.
find RCT then?
That was later. And
How old
I
are
already
you?
had overcome the fear. I had already overcome that fear
Okay. So
of being around people. And I tell you what I did. Even though like RTT hypnosis really helped me
okay.
even more, I already had broken the pattern of the fear being around a lot of people by I set my mind to do this. So I told myself, I'm going to do this. I'm going to overcome this. And I took small steps. So when you do things on a conscious level, it takes a longer time. It could take a really long time to break the
Yes.
habit. Hypnosis helps you do it in a very quick
Faster.
and fast
Yeah.
way. So I took the long road because I didn't know at the time I had no idea or any knowledge about hypnosis. That didn't come until later. But anyway, my daughter was the reason that she gave me the reason that I needed to fix this. So I started taking small steps and forcing myself and putting myself in situations, right? Face the fear, face the thing that you're scared of, and then you get rid of it. That's the road that I took. I would place myself in the situations trying to overcome it. And I would, force myself, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm safe. And I just took small steps. And then what I did also, I would take trips to the city. Now, New York City is like super crowded. Getting on a train and a subway, there's like so many people. And I did this for like 2 or 3 summers. I would go into the city every day.
Okay.
And it was really hard at first because being surrounded by so many people was very hard. And as soon as I would get there, I wanted to get out immediately.
Right. It's fear, you're right.
Right. It was like, I can't
Terrifying.
be here. Get me out of here. I gotta go. So I took some.
Anxiety, I believe, right?
Mhm.
Started hitting you. Okay.
Yeah, you start building that anxiety. You can't breathe. You just like, you don't feel safe. You don't feel comfortable. And I start, force myself, go the next day. And then by the second summer, I did it again and I felt better. So I would spend more time,
Mhm.
walking around in those crowded places. By
Just
the
keep
third
saying,
summer, I was so comfortable. I felt like, okay, I can work here. I can commute here and work here. I have no problem. So that's how I overcame that fear by, you know, forcing myself and strategically placing myself in the situations. I faced the fear,
right.
I confronted it, but it took small steps. It wasn't like all at once. It was a gradual process, but that's how I overcame that. And then when I found hypnosis, it took care of everything else that was still left there that I needed to overcome. So now I don't have a problem, you know,
See? How?
being around large crowds or being a big party. I feel totally comfortable. I could be there in my own space. I feel safe. I don't feel anxiety or anything like that. So all these fears that we get, we can overcome because it's something we develop in our minds, in our subconscious minds. We get this belief that we're going to be in danger if we're faced with a situation, right? If I go swim in the ocean, I'm going to die. I'm going to drown. That's the belief I have because
Right.
my mother almost drowned me. Or, if if I'm surrounded by a lot of people, it's going to be dangerous. Something bad's going to happen to me. So, by overcoming that fear, learning that it's only an idea, it's a belief that you create, and then it becomes embedded in your subconscious,
Right.
then by reversing that, and the reversal is the opposite, but you have to introduce it to your subconscious and then make it a habit that it's a safe place. Like me taking those trips to New York City over and over again made it a habit to tell my subconscious it's safe to be around all these people, all these crowds. It's okay. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be okay.
So
So
no pills from the fear, no pills.
no pills. To be honest, with everything I have gone through, and all of you out there listening, I've gone through a lot, and I've gone through depression, anxiety. I have never been on any medication ever, other than vitamins.
That's good. But see, there's have people who would say right now, oh, it's easy for you to say that because we go to doctor and doctor said, take this, this, and this. I don't want to name the product what he's taking. I believe I have some that I went to doctor, doctor gave it to me some because I don't realize that I have anxiety. I'm like, doctor, actually I couldn't breathe, it's choking me, it's this and that, and I'm afraid to go to sleep and this and this, which I kind of explained to doctor what I have in my body, which is fear, which is depression, stress, the whole, and anxiety on top of it, right? And I couldn't breathe on top of it. So now doctor gave it to me some, and I start to take it. And when I start to take it, it's like right here, it's kind of like, I felt like it's more blowing, like, I don't know how to explain, it's just explore there, like pushing things around.
So it felt like you're swollen.
Kind of swelling, but it's more like a swelling. I would say it's swelling, but inside it's like just push everything out, like it get more like bigger. The size is like it's growing inside me. I'm like, is it swelling? Like it's come down. But with this, I think it's like a rock in there. Okay. So, and then I get scared to sleep because of this. And then after 7 days, he said it will be gone. So this is what happens. After 7 days, it's gone. And I start to feel like, okay, but what happens with those pills? I stop feel anything, no fear, no emotions. I just, walk. And back then I have boyfriend and he said, what you taking? I want to take the same thing. What you taking? Because you're too calm, like you're not even exist here. I'm like, what? And then I wake up about like, I'm not even exist. I'm not there. Like I have to change my life. So I have to quit that. I have to go through all my fears, all my anxiety, depression, stress, everything. It's like too much on top of one head. So, but I did. And since then, I don't have anything that I would take as a medical to calm me down. And I really find RTT helped me too, because when it's take me to subconscious mind, I would remember every details, what kind of like stuck in my head, all those fears, do not do this, don't go there, don't do this. And also I remember my father, he took us with my brother, 3 of us, we go to that place. It's not river, but it's like a river, very fast. So we play. I don't know how to swim yet. So our father kind of like teach us. And there was stairs. You have to grab the like handles and walk on the stairs up. I try to do that, and my hands is like I'm so tiny, and my brother, he know how to swim, okay, and then he just pull me from that stairs, and I just start to flowing far away from my father and my brother, and there's like when water go and looping like this. I get into that one. My father saw it. I don't know. I don't even remember how he's grabbed me. I think he grabbed me in my hair, or because there is, the swimming suit, like what swimming suit? Like you can't even catch this. And he grabbed me and he just threw me. And this was rock. And it's like more like a coral rock. So I scratched all my knee and stuff, and like, he don't love me. He threw me on this rock. I don't even think about that thing which is looping like this, or how you say that.
Right.
How you call it? I forgot.
Like a twister. Yeah.
It just go like this, and it just suck me in, and you have to have a strength to get out from there. But me, I just go once, bloop, and when I come up again, my father just grabbed me and just throw me. And I remember that throwing, it's so rough because he gets scared. He gets scared.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and he don't yell and scream on my brother. I start to complain what he did to me. My father just don't say anything, because I think if he will let go of that anger, I think he will just kill my brother. That's what I think, because my brother thinks he almost killed me there too. And another fear, what I remember, it's like claustrophobia thing. My sister, we just come up and start to like, hey, let's go play with hide and seek. Okay, so we have an old refrigerator in the yard. No, it's front yard. So I just get in there because I can fit in there, right? I don't really close the door. I just open this because I know like it's very hot. It's summertime, and I know if I will close this, I will never open this because there is no hand. I'm already smart, okay? So. And then when she understands that I'm hiding there, she just come over and just close the door.
Unlocked you in there.
And I get panicked, like this, quick, boom. I start to knock that door. I start to yell and scream. I call her name, and I say, I don't know how long she kept me there. But when she opened up, she just like very happy child. Ha ha ha. She's just laughing in there in my
Well, she
face.
was a child, like, you
She's
know,
younger than
children.
me.
Yeah.
She's younger than me. And I'm the old one, the oldest one who's supposed to think like, if you know it's not opening, it's gonna be any another. It's just taught me back then that think about what you're doing. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who's around you. You have to be responsible for your action, for your movements, and for your thoughts before you do anything. That's what I learned back then with this situation with my sister.
Oh, that reminds me of my brother. My brother's older than me, and he would always jump from the rooftops of the houses. The houses were like, you know, low, like one floor or
Okay.
two. But he would always go on the second floor and hop from one rooftop to the other. And whenever we would be playing together, he would always scared me and try to kind
Push
of
you.
push me
When you're not
off
ready,
the
right? I know
roof.
that feeling. Boo, ah,
But
yeah.
he loves to do that, like scare people. He still does it today. And now I'm scared of heights. I won't
So
go up
funny.
more than like 2 steps on the ladder because I think somebody's going to come over and push me.
Yeah.
So I still have not gotten over that fear, people, of heights, because thank you to my brother for, you know, constantly threatening to throw me off the rooftop of
Right.
these homes where we used to go. They were abandoned homes or homes in construction. We used to just play around, and he thought it was a joke. He thought it was funny. To him, it
How
was
about
funny.
how about flights? Do you afraid of flights?
No, I'm okay with flying because I'm enclosed. Because if it was an open space, I would be scared. I wouldn't go. And I think that's what it is, because
See,
he used to scare me and there was no walls.
okay. See, that's the with me. I'm not afraid of flying, but what I'm afraid to go on a cruise. It's big, huge, open ocean, but for me, it's also like a claustrophobia. Where is the earth? I
Mm,
have to stay like stable on it.
grounded in the earth.
Yeah, like I have to stay there. I have to feel it. So if there's like, and I'm afraid of the big, huge water too, like if this is a lot, just because of my grandmom put me like strengths, I would say she used her strengths against me, even if this is small bathtub, I still don't have that power to come out of this water.
Right. She was stronger than you were.
She control me and I
Yeah.
don't control the situation. That's what fear me so much. And now if I'm in a cruise, somebody control that, not me.
You're
So
not in control. So
and I'm
therefore, yeah.
so I better control myself here on the earth, drive my car or fly, even though I know if I fly, there's a big, huge ocean underneath there. I still don't afraid as long I'm not around this,
Because
as
you're
long
not
I
in
don't
you're not in
see
the
it,
water.
as long you don't see it, you're perfect.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to our stories and they have the same fears, but know that any fear, whatever fear it is, you can overcome that because it's just the belief
There
that
is
we acquire.
there is her fear of eating. I
Yeah.
have I remember when I was little, right? And my aunt, when there's like a birthday, she always will make one big, huge, sweet cake, and everybody will eat this. I try only one time, and then what happens to me? I throw up, and I understand that I'm not allowed to eat that. And more than that, I don't eat sweetness. I don't drink tea with the sugar because I do think like sugar hurting me, and I have that fear. My brother, he's ate, like the pepper, and
Mm-hmm.
we call this a stuffing pepper. So
Yeah.
he ate the pepper, and this was skin. So it stuck somewhere in him, and he started to throw up too after that thing stuck in him, and it's bothered him, and he just afraid to choking with all this is vomiting. So he said, I don't eat still now. And he's like
He
older than
doesn't eat
me.
peppers.
No. And
Yeah.
until he's, I mean, he eat now, but he said until some sort of age, he do not eat this because the fear of child
Choking on it.
in him. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember that pain and how he's afraid to choking from all this, just because we adult people, especially back then, uh, parents don't even think about how we need to feed our kids, give the
Exactly. Oh, how it
skin.
affects us. You know
Yeah,
what? I think we should continue this topic in the next show because there's
okay.
so much. You know, I have other stories to share about fear too. So we'll make another episode of this and continue with our stories of fear. But for this episode, I hope some of you can relate to our stories. And please share your story, comment in our videos, give us some feedback, and let us know how this is helping you, and know that any fear whatsoever you can overcome, you know, because it is a belief that we acquire. So thank you so much for watching. Until the next episode.
So I also want to say thank you very much, and I want to welcome all our viewers with your own idea what you want to talk about. And if you do have any fears, please come over and share with us. Maybe your fear will help somebody else, and maybe you will teach us how we need to get rid of some sort of fears. How you did this, we will just love to listen to you and maybe take a study from you. Thank you and have a beautiful life. Love
Till
and peace.
next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.